Hey, it's back with the Firefly. A little trying to get through the night with a little bit of light. But, anyways, I was just coming to talk about when you're wanting things, the more we want it, the more we repel it. And it's funny because I was in the truck with somebody earlier. I'm not driving. If I'm not driving, I'm like, oh, God, no, oh, I'm going to die. I get very dramatic. But, anyways, it's funny how we can find ourselves in these situations where we have no control over it in a physical form, and then you're like, oh God, my life's in their hands, But when it comes to this magical, invisible way of life, it's hard because then you're like, who's in control? What's going to happen? Where's it going to come from? How is this going to work? And the more you question, you are sitting in traffic, let's say. You're going to keep sitting and wondering. And it's almost like, okay, you want the mystery of it? Let me keep giving you the mystery of it. Rather than just tell me what you want, go have fun, and I'll get that ready for you. It's like when you, let's say you go to the mall or something, right? And they have the food court, and you can order your food. And say they tell you it's going to take you 30 minutes. Well, guess what? You can go wander around and shop and just keep up a little bit. At least in that sense, you have a time frame. When it comes to manifesting things in your life, of course, when we start trying to push for those things, it's a lot of times out of, I need this. And that comes from a fear mindset. And that is where we get to the point where it's like, okay, it's going to happen, but it might turn into a nightmare. And the biggest thing I keep hearing, and I'm still very guilty of not following through with this, is meditate, And I've always seen meditation as I got to sit and I have a very hard time quieting my mind. And I had to learn that even doing the dishes is meditating. Still making your mind still, to where you're not focusing on your problem. And being someone like me, an Aquarian, I am a problem solver. So when I see a problem, I'm like, okay, I got to find the solution. But sometimes we have to trust that the solution comes in the waiting and being patient. And I keep sitting here like, I need it now though. And then of course that's pushing it back away. So it's difficult, yes. There's an ebb and flow of life. And I've been listening to Abraham Hicks a lot for the last couple days because trying to get myself realigned with that abundance mindset, getting into the vortex and getting into the flow. It's like being in a lazy river at a water park where it's just taking you around. There's plenty of avenues to get out wherever you want to get out, but you don't have to walk the entire park, right? So it's kind of like an experience that allows you to have fun while you're waiting to get to the other side without burning up on the walk, So those are examples, of course, but if you feel yourself feeling constraint, then try to, and I know it's hard, especially when you're in need. Believe me, I have been experiencing this test of faith a lot in the last, I want to say almost 8 months. And I didn't see it at first because I was comfortable money-wise, right? And then it was like things were being plucked away little bits at a time. And it's like, can you still go with that? Oh, are you still going to do that? You still okay with that? And more it was like, I don't know if I can. But eventually it had to come to, okay, I am. And now I've got to relax and have that faith again. And you don't realize, honestly, when you live a life of faith and then you're starting to derail off of that track. It's almost like you don't notice it until you get to a point where you feel like you're struggling and suffering becomes a thing and then you're in need. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, where did I take the wrong turn? And it's not even that you made a wrong turn, you changed energetically. And being in that truck earlier, like I said, made me like, oh God, I'm going to die. And that starts changing my vibration because I go from a feeling of being secure and knowing that I'm taken care of, to now I feel like my life is in someone else's hands. Now I have to wonder, are they safe? Are they making the right choice? Oh God, I gave my life to them. And it doesn't come down to that. I mean, I've been with several people that taught me that mantra, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Hanging on for dear life, hoping, and not even praying, because I was like, if I die, I die. I guess this is how it was supposed to go down, you know? So it comes down to the fact of, even if you're standing on a cliff and there's a huge wind blowing, have faith. Which that actually reminds me, we were climbing a mountain one time. My kids were really, really small. And all of a sudden this huge wind came, and it was very steep. And all we could do, it was my son and I. And at the time, I want to say he was like 7 years old. And we just hugged onto the side of the mountain, and we're laughing like, where did that come from? And then, of course, when everything was fine and we made it back to the bottom, we were laughing, going, I don't even know what just happened there. And at a young age, he could realize that even at that moment, our lives were in danger. But it was this sheer, just hold on, it's going to pass, you're going to be okay. And everything was in the end, you know. And that life is like that, though. If you're struggling at any point, it is almost like you're standing on a cliff, and the only thing coming is strong hurricane winds that are going to push you, you know. And you find that strength and that courage in the middle of all the chaos. And that's where you start building yourself back up. That's where I know I can do anything. I know that this is something to test who I am, what I stand for, what I'm willing to work for, you know. So if you are at that moment in your life, like I said, just have faith in yourself. Have faith in the process, because it does take a little bit of time. And the hardest part is staying in alignment with what it is that you're wanting, what it is that you know you're worthy of, and keeping that energy up. Because when we do get around people, they do affect us. So like I was talking about, you can be in the vehicle and all of a sudden you've got chaotic energy, or you can be standing in line and get annoyed that the holdup, oh God, just things constantly can change you, right? And very seldom do you meet people that have a good vibe and they're bubbly and they just lift you up instantly. And of course, if the world were full of more people like that, then you would see a lot more people being happy and optimistic and go-getters, rather than struggling paycheck to paycheck and, oh, this is too heavy and this life costs too much and it just, I can't go on anymore, and I'm tired, I'm stressed, getting angry, wasting my time, wasting my days. So when you start being comfortable, let's say, with the concept of not having a dream, that's where you are getting into the humdrum concept of life, paycheck to paycheck, you know. And if you have a little bit higher of a vibration, you're not living paycheck to paycheck. You can put a little bit to the side, right? Maybe you can save for a vacation, or to get your kids something special, or go out for a day of shopping, or whatever it is, you know. But it's the higher you get in your vibration, the more abundance you can draw into your life. And remember that abundance is not always monetary. And when I first started this journey, I thought abundance was monetary. And then I was like, oh no, that's wealth. But abundance comes in all forms, you know, even if it's people saying, hey, how are you doing? And smiles, and just people opening doors for you, and people being courteous and thoughtful. And, you know, that ideal world where we see each other, not where I was here first, and just the self-serving nature of what life can be. So try to get that vibration up. And easiest way to do it, start jumping around, start doing something, start moving your energy, because that is where it's like if you were to shake up a Coke and open it, right? You get the volcano. So you have to actually move your physical form. And I'm not talking about, I got to go to the bathroom and take a break because I'm at work. And I'm not talking about that. And I'm not even saying you have to run a marathon. But you have to get positive in your mind, and you have to move the energy in your body, because you do have chakras. As you begin to block these chakras is where you start having those hurdles. Best way to unblock those chakras is to move the energy. Look at it as turning on a water hose. It takes a second for the water to travel to get out of the spigot from the hose, out of the hose, but it will come. If there's a kink in the system, you don't get any water. It's the same with the flow of the chi in your body. So you have to start, like I said, think positive, move the energy around. Practice your breath work. And as guilty as I can be, saying I don't do it very often, which is probably where some blockages are coming from, focus on your manifestations. Focus on quieting your mind. Focus on meditation. Focus on what it is you're trying to bring into your life, but don't sit there and hold on to it. Write the ticket, send it out, and wait for delivery. And it comes in all kinds of forms. When I was on the road earlier, I saw 111, 888, another 111. Looked at my phone to look something up, 111, and I'm like, it's everywhere today. Shoot, I got called the other day from somebody, hey, you want to go to a concert and have a free ticket? And I was like, I would love to, but I can't, and I was like, oh, that door's open again, because those are the things that I enjoy, When people start calling me and offering me things for free is where I'm like, I'm getting back in alignment. I'm getting back to who I was. So you have to look out even for things like that, even if it's you find a penny on the ground or just different things that catch your eye. Because I've always heard pennies were like angels dropping down to say, hey, I see you, I'm around you, so it comes to the point where those are kind of superstitious ways of thinking, but for me as a kid, that was kind of like, oh, they're here, so don't miss the signs. Don't miss the possibilities because you're so wrapped up in worry and stress and doubt and I need, because the more that you focus in that, the more you're going to get that. So try to breathe it out, have faith, give gratitude, and focus on what's important. Your family, what you have, not what you need. But the more you can say, I have what I need, everything is already provided for me, you're going to get more and more of that. And I've had to be reminded of that, so here I am reminding you. So I'm going to leave it on that note. Peace, love, and light. Bye-bye.